If you find yourself getting distracted, procrastinating on your dreams or your to-do list, this episode is
What's the one thing? What's the one thing that if I did today would move me one step closer?
Now Jesse helps entrepreneurs reclaim their attention, find flow, and finally follow through with their dreams, ambitions, and goals. This is the growth concept.
Thanks for having me, man.
Jesse, you've scaled your startup supplement business and now you help entrepreneurs beat procrastination. Help me understand this timeline on these series of events. How did you even get into the procrastination industry from being a supplement startup?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been an entrepreneur since I'm 16 years old. And the first 10 years of my entrepreneurial journey was way different than my last 9 years. The first 10 years were full of perfectionism, thinking I need everything right before I get started. More courses, more training, more tools. And I ended up digging myself over $130,000 in debt before actually, before actually even getting stuff off the ground. But in the last 9 years of my business, I found an incredible mentor, had to spend heaps of more money on him as well. But he really helped me break out of this perfectionism, overwhelm, fear of failure kind of mindset. And really all these principles that he taught me helped me scale my business. And the principles that he taught me were like, he really hammered into my head that 10% of success is like the plan or the course or the thought. He said 90% of the success is being able to stay focused and committed and taking action and making sure that you never give up. And he hammered those things into my head. And I just found out that my last 19 years of entrepreneurship journey can really help others, other entrepreneurs or high performers, help achieve their goals without procrastination or getting overwhelmed.
That's such a good point. Looking at obviously the journey you've had so far, what role did obviously social media play in this transition process? Because I know when I look on my phone nowadays, there's so many people selling these courses, and I don't feel there's enough mentorship or that one-on-one interaction with the person you want to become or the person who's coming back on the road you're wanting to travel down. What role did that play in this entrepreneurial journey for you?
So like I said, my entrepreneurial journey started 19 years ago, so social media was hardly even a thing.
Yeah.
uh, and my last business actually was completely offline. I sold in magazines, direct mail, newspapers, things like that. So this last year has been me hopping back into the social media scene. But everything that you said is 100% true, man. There's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of people out there. And the value of having someone that's already traveled the road that you're trying to go down is like you can't put a price tag on that, man. Having someone that you can trust, that you can like, that knows the pitfalls to avoid, and someone who can take you by the hand and like lead you through that kind of stuff. Like I've spent over $250,000 on mentorship and training and courses and things like that. That value has paid itself in spades when you have someone that you can trust that's actually going to get you to where you want to be and actually knows how to, like I said, avoid the pitfalls and take you where you need to go.
100%, 100%. So the current work you're doing now, you help entrepreneurs beat procrastination. Is this something you struggled with when you were young, 16, having your first startup to now?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the first 10 years of my business was full of that kind of stuff. This idea that I need to get everything perfect, or things were
Yeah.
overwhelmed, or analysis paralysis, or shiny object syndrome, and jumping here, there, everywhere, right? But the real secret to success just happens to overlap with like what really causes procrastination and what really causes overwhelm, and how to get through that is really the key to success in anything. Doesn't matter if it's business, it's life, relationships, your health, your fitness. Like these are core principles. How our brain works and how our body works to beat those things is literally how you become successful at anything.
Is a game changer, I feel, because especially in this day and age, it's the attention economy. And yeah, even though all these social media platforms are free, but really they're selling your attention to these big business companies that draw your focus and your energy away from you. Is this something you still struggle with yourself when it comes to procrastination?
Absolutely not, man. I got this drilled out of my brain by my mentor. He helped me. Like I've done the same thing day in and day out. My current version of my to-do list, I've done every single day for the last 3 years. Like he really helped me identify high leverage activities, implement them into habits, and making sure that you stick to them each and every single day. It's just become part of my identity, man. Like my uh, my ability for success and resilience has been just so baked into me in the last 9 years that no matter what I set my mind to, I know I'm going to achieve.
That's such a good point. This obviously that you were saying that you had this to-do list, you had all these systems in place to obviously keep you on track. Did you ever have a problem with this doom scrolling that a lot of individuals are struggling with these
Oh,
days?
dude, I went through a severe bout of a generalized anxiety disorder from 2015 to about 2020, and that my entire day was just filled with either trying to overcome how I felt or just distracting myself with news scrolling. Man, I wasted hours upon hours just trying to like numb my senses to how I was feeling, and going through that journey on top of my entrepreneurial journey, kind of like combined those two together to figure out exactly, okay, what do I need to focus on? What's the things that are actually going to make a difference, and how do I achieve these things in a sustainable way so I don't keep going towards this mental overload, overwhelm, and burnout.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Jesse, what is your mission right now in this day and age with obviously getting into this business, helping other people beat procrastination?
Nothing makes me happier, man, than seeing other people achieve their goals. If I can help someone take one step closer to their goal every single day, that's a huge win for me. To our bot, like you're either moving forward or you're dying. Like you're either growing or you're dying. Like I love the name of your podcast, man, the growth concept, because that's so true. There's no standing still. There's no stagnation. You're either going forward or you're going backwards. And helping people get out of these cycles of spending hours or their whole life trying to move forward but not taking that step forward, being able to break it down for them and make it easy and enjoyable for them to stick to something every single day, and then showing them how they can actually move forward in their goals in their life. It's just, there's nothing like it for me, man.
Yeah, I love that. How come that's so important to you?
Just because of the struggles that I went through, man, being stuck in overwhelm, being completely over, like just in my own head, made me a shell of a human being, ruined my relationships, completely made me a nightmare to be around. And going through that journey, like if I can help anyone else out there who's a high performer, an entrepreneur who just it feels stuck or overwhelmed or is just has that thing that they're sitting on or waiting on that they know they need to take action on, if I can help someone move the needle just a little bit day by day, their life will change. They'll be grateful for me, and I can just put some more positivity in the world. And I 100% believe what goes around comes around.
That's so powerful. I love that. So, obviously, with the work you're doing with procrastination and your mission to help people achieve their goals, do you find that procrastination is the very thing stopping people from 10xing achieving their goals a lot quicker?
100%. If you look at any of the top CEOs posting on social media right now, you'll see a ton of stuff being like, the biggest thing is you not taking action. The procrastination is literally what's holding you back from success. Why? Because even the Stoics said it, even Seneca said that procrastination robs you of your life and your time. Like not being able to just take that leap or that one small step completely robs you of your time, your money, your energy, your focus, your ability to grow as a human being. Like it's at the core of who we are in order to be successful.
That point is extremely important, right? And it makes me fired up listening to that. But a lot of people do know this subconsciously or they've heard it 10 times on social media. But I still have a massive to do list, and this thing is my worst enemy. I have, I would view myself a very organized person. I plan each week, each day, the night before, the week before, and I still catch myself using this device and in a negative way. It's distracting me from my focus. At what point do we somehow pull away from it and become focused? Because it sounds very, oh, just, plan each day before, just prioritize, set boundaries on your phone. But I think the tricky thing is when your work is social media, how do you end up separating the two from, okay, it's business time
Yeah.
and now it's distraction time? How would you go about that?
That's a fantastic question. I'm glad you brought that up, man, because especially with entrepreneurs trying to get into social media, trying to be successful with social media, there's that
Yeah.
fight, right? That time wasting compared to that focus and what's actually going to move the needle, make the difference, right? For me, so my to-do list is not just like it would be nice if these things got done. They're like I do these every single day, day in and day out. So I only focus on high leverage activities, things that if I got done today, I would be extremely proud of myself. It'd have the biggest impact in my life and my business. A few examples for myself. I have over 30 things that I do every single day that move the needle forward for me, not in just business, but in my entire life. A few things like time with my wife, time with my kid, my nutrition plan, my fitness, my hobbies, my interests, my goals, and personal development. These are all things that I've broken down into an easy, enjoyable action step that I can do every single day because consistency compounds, and that's the only way you're going to build momentum is if you can do it day in and day out. So my suggestion for you, that to-do list that's like scaring the crap out of you, take the one thing that if you're like, I got this done today, that would make me the most proud. Ask yourself, what's the least amount of time I can enjoyably spend every single day to take one step closer on this action list without burning out? So making it as sustainable as possible so that I keep chipping away at it. Because if it's an important to-do list aspect, I need to do it every single day, not just once. Especially if it's a high leverage activity, it should be a repeatable activity. Just like if you're in the gym, you don't just do biceps once. You got to repeat on it, right? And that's where you're going to build that momentum, that consistency, and that growth.
Okay. With obviously a lot of people are doing online stuff, content creation, whether it's coaching, podcasting, whatever. Okay, from that I've gotten is find the most high valued task. Do that. When doing this task, do you implement certain things? Like, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 25 minutes, 15
Yeah,
minutes off.
there's like called a Pomodoro method. Yeah, if
Yeah,
there's
that's
like
right. Yeah.
there's a couple different things for myself. I like to make it able to be done in like 10 minutes or less. Like I like to make it focus because I'm planning on doing this every single day, and people don't understand that the power of that. I'm because dude, time flies by, man. We're in October, the year's almost gone.
Yeah.
Time flies by, man. And people they're like, oh, I wish I got that thing done. I'm like, bro, I've been doing push-ups every single day for the last 3 years. Like things compound, things stack up, and so instead of being like having a thinking I need to block off hours of time to finish that high focus task. Just like, dude, what's the one thing? What's the one thing that if I did today would move me one step closer? And then just do it every single day instead of, trying to chunk out a whole ton of time. For me, example, book one podcast a day. When I was first getting started, I'd be browsing for hours. How can I get an interview? This, that, and the other thing. Now, dude, it takes like minutes for me, dude. Like I can book a podcast every single day in no time at all because I've just built up the habit. I've learned what works and what doesn't work, and I just one day. Like the power of just one thing a day is absolutely insane.
What does trial and error play in this process? Because I know a lot of people may be tuning into this episode and being like, oh, I don't really know a system that works for me. To-do list works for some people. To-do list on your phone works for others. How do we break down on what works for the individual, and what questions did you personally ask yourself to find that golden rule for yourself?
Yeah, I love that, dude. So for myself, I call my 3E method: easy, enjoyable, every day. I got sustainability built into it. I got something that pulls me towards my goal. It's something that seems so simple that I don't get blocked up in my head from getting started and taking action on it. So for me, it's different for everybody. Everyone has a different personality. Let me give you the example of fitness, for example. I say, what's the least amount of time you can enjoyably spend every day working towards your fitness goal? If you're a person that hates going to the gym, don't start going to the gym. Just start with like a walk or a vanity muscle that you really want to work at, whether it's abs or arms or something like that. Pick the thing that is most enjoyable or draws you the most, and then say, what's the least amount of it I can do every single day without burning out? And for example, it's just like one. Okay, I can do one push-up. Okay, do one push-up a day every single day, and you're going to expand your capacity and ability to do more. That's the biggest thing when people try to tackle so much at one time. They don't even have the strength to do it yet. They don't even know what it takes to do it yet. They're going to the gym trying to lift 200-pound weights when they've never done the thing before. Start easy, make it enjoyable, and make it sure it's something that you can stick to consistently because that's the only way you're going to grow your capacity.
For sure. So it's more tying in, it's trying to build this habit of whatever this task is for you. So it's finding that reward, that the cue, the reward. What's the 3 steps to a habit? It's cue.
Yeah, I forget as well, but I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the cue, then the task, and then the reward, right? So then, for example, you brought up, if you want to get into fitness, getting in the gym for the first time. So the cue is maybe setting that alarm, and then the actual task, whether it's going for that walk, sitting down for 10 minutes, reading that book, studying, whatever. But then how do you reward yourself based on that small time frame to make it sustainable and mentally rewarding?
Yeah, that's great. So one thing you do is just try to make it as like easy as possible so that you just feel accomplished. Like you can just cross it off easily. It's like, boom, cross it off. Another thing I do, Mel Robbins teaches the high five habit. After you do it, give yourself a high five. That's a quick, easy one that you can do. I love doing that. But really building in the enjoyment and the ease factor to it. You don't want to have to make achieving your goals a grind. You want to be able to enjoy the journey, man. Like if you're only happy when you hit the destination, you're going to be miserable until you hit your goal, and then that feeling is going to be gone in a second. And you'll be like, oh crap, now what? But if you make the whole process enjoyable and easy and fun the whole way through, you'll not only hit your goal, you'll exceed your goal beyond your wildest dreams because it's a new habit, it's a new drive, it's a new identity for yourself. As I'm a person that makes it so simple and easy to achieve anything I want.
Such a good point. What role does obviously the attention crisis we are all in, especially Gen A, Gen Z, coming through now, and procrastination, because they're linked, right?
100%, 100%. Because the attention and the doom scrolling, it gives us that dopamine hit. And dopamine hit is what our bodies run on when it comes to accomplishing things and moving forward on tasks. And so when we get not false, so it's real dopamine, but cheap dopamine, it prevents us from going after the real thing and just keeps us locked in these cycles of like, I don't need to do that because I can do this for a quick hit instead of doing the thing that's actually going to make me a better person for that real, satisfying, deep, rewarding dopamine hit. And so I like to do, and what I recommend is if you can do that one thing that you'd be proud of, if that's all you got done today, and start small and start there. I don't care if you waste the other 18 hours that you're awake scrolling on social media. If you got that one thing done and you did it today and the next day and the next day, you're going to push out the distractions. So many people try to like kick an old habit, but now there's nothing there. You got to replace it with a new habit. So if I'm focused on what I need to do, the stuff that I don't need to do kind of just falls by the wayside, man, because I'm like so dialed in on what I know works, the dopamine that really moves me forward. And next thing I know, I'm not going for the cheap.
Such a powerful point. But one thing with that, right? So let's just say you're doing this task for 10 minutes, right? And during these 10 minutes, is it up to the individual to battle the resilience to stay on task? Or is it something that, oh, okay, well, you are getting a bit distracted now. Maybe you need a break.
That's
At
a
one
great
point, how do we balance this?
Yeah. So what I do is like if you're getting distracted in the 10 minutes, if 10 minutes is too hard of a focus, shrink it, make it smaller. 5, 3, 2, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Especially when it comes to things that we're new at or in I don't really used to enjoy, but you know that you need to do it. For myself, it was like I want to start jump rope. And I had like a big goal of X amount of minutes a day. And next thing I know, I wasn't able to do it every single day enjoyably. So I just kept shrinking it and shrinking it, shrinking it. And now it's like 40 seconds a day. But I do it every single day with focus, no distraction. I get to it quicker, I get it done, and I still get the result compared to trying to chunk off a huge block of time for it.
Yeah, that's such a good point because that way you're still getting the reward of,
Yes.
damn, I've just done that.
That's right. You're still checking off the
Gotcha.
box, still crossing it off, but you're building your capacity to grow.
Mm. How do you go about obviously planning out each day the night before? Do you do this, or is this something you do subconsciously? What are your thoughts and opinions on planning each day prior?
I believe I live every single day as if it's my last, man. I do the same. I've done the same thing every single day. This version of my to-do list since December 4th, 2023. I do the same thing every single day because they're the things that come naturally, easy to me, and I enjoy. Like happiness isn't a destination or a journey. Like happiness is the way, dude. And like if you're not enjoying your time now in the struggle, then you're not going to enjoy it when there's no struggle. Like you got to do it. Like it's got to be today. Like today's got to be New Year's Day, not like New Year's resolution 3 months from now. It's got to be like today I do the things that I know I need to be doing every single day. So I don't have I have what I call a daily minimum. So every single day I cross off these daily minimums, and that the rest of the time is for whatever other projects or things I do. But I do the same things every single day.
How do you go about prioritizing these tasks? Let's just say you have a bunch of deadlines and you've got to make a start. You haven't done them yet. how do you go about balancing what is urgent and not so urgent, but the not so urgent thing is somewhat still important?
Mm. Yeah, so I try to get the important things. Like the only things on my to-do list are like high impact, important activities. As long as I get those things done first, then I can put out the fires. So many of us, what we do, excuse me, myself included, we'd wake up, we check where's the fire, where's the fire burning that I put out right now. No, we got to flip that. Do what's important first, because the more that you get consistent on the important stuff, the less fires that you'll have. But then you'll understand, okay, was that really an urgent problem? Or was that made up in my mind because I thought I had to be busy to think that I was productive?
Yeah. Good point. Good point. So then that way, so the attention crisis is obviously something we're all struggling with. What key things do we need to learn from the attention crisis to understand procrastination a bit more? So then that way we can move past this, because we know the techniques now, but we probably should know a bit about what these things actually are in order to fully understand them to move forward. Do you reckon that's essential?
Yeah, so procrastination, in my opinion, well, not my opinion, Harvard studies show has nothing to do with laziness, lack of motivation, doesn't even have to do with poor time management, but it's actually like internal factors. It's our nervous system. It's a fear protecting our brain from doing the thing that we're scared of either failing at, or we don't have the confidence, or we doubt ourselves in, or we want to make sure it's absolutely perfect because we don't want our friends and family to laugh at us. Like there's so many other elements to what truly drives procrastination, but at the core, it's a nervous system regulation issue. And so that's why this attention crisis comes in, because these things calm our nerves. They make us feel better, or they give us that hit to numb the pain. And that's why we are
Yeah.
so distracted with all these kind of things. But we need to replace that habit with something that actually gives us that true hit of dopamine, like I like to describe, that makes us feel proud of ourselves, that makes us feel good of ourselves. And once we know what we need to truly give our attention to, the other stuff is either less appealing, or it doesn't make us feel as guilty if our attention is split, because I got the thing done. I know what to focus on. I know what makes a difference. I know what it takes to succeed. And so if I want to screw off for a couple hours, that's fine, but because I know what it takes to move forward.
What was that for you, obviously going through this process? What was that thing you replaced X with?
The training of the ability to have something easy and enjoyable that I can stick to every single day. And if it's a 10-minute window, it's a 10-minute window, but training myself to focus on the right thing. So when it comes to achieving a goal, if I don't know how to achieve it, that doesn't mean that we can't achieve it. All we need to do is set our brain to that end result that we want and make sure that we're doing something every single day to take one step closer to it. And so each step, the whole thing doesn't need to be figured out. We just need to say, okay, for 10 minutes, I'm going to focus on moving closer to my goal. That's it. And the brain will figure it out. The process, each step along the way will come as you go, but you don't need to have the entire thing mapped out before you get started, or in order to make progress in achieving your goal.
Is that a mistake you see a lot of people making?
100%, myself included. If I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it, that's where the fear and the overwhelm comes. It's like, I don't know how, I don't know how. Well, that should never prevent me from doing something. And if that something is just, I set a timer for 10 minutes and focus on whatever it is and high five myself when it's done, and I'll pick it up again the next day, that will build our momentum, that will build our focus. It'll train our brain for what really it takes to be successful.
Looking at your work that you do now, what are
Perfectionism, that's a big one. Perfectionism, overwhelm is a huge one, and analysis paralysis. So being overwhelmed that I try to think everything perfectly through before taking that step. That mental clutter takes so much weight and so much energy away from what it actually takes to just stay focused and move one step closer to our goals. And being able to clear out that clutter by taking action, like action is the cure to anxiety. It's better to take a step, honestly, in the wrong direction than to be stuck in fear and take no step at all, because it's impossible to steer a parked car. Like, we need to at least be taking movement forward, even if it's small, tiny little steps. Another big misconception is people, they block out a whole day and grind out for 16 hours in a day, and they're completely burnt out, completely overwhelmed, and they didn't actually move closer to their goal whatsoever. Making it small and sustainable is the key to give our brain that reset when we sleep, to actually build that skill. Because it's like Imagine we're trying to learn a new language all in one day. Our brains would just explode. You got to do it little by little, bit by bit. That's how the human brain and body works. That's what I thought was necessary to build a business. Yeah, continue, sorry. Yeah, so the movement will be part of the rewiring. The rewiring, because every day we're making a choice, right? We're either making a choice to not take action or take action. And the more action I take, the less time I will spend in that inaction loop. And especially when it comes to not a wish list to do list, but a must do list, if you get that habit of crossed off, crossed off, crossed, you just stack the momentum, you stack the wins, and you're like literally unbeatable. Perfectionism, and overwhelm, and analysis paralysis. Yeah, yeah, no, I yeah, so we gotta cut out all the fat and say just pick one. The reason that we're overwhelmed is because we have options. And when we that the paradox of choice, when I have 10 different choices, I don't make any of them. And so many people, it's tied into perfectionism as well, is I want to make the best choice. It's like, bro, most choices will work. You just need to pick one and see it through until it works or until it's proven that it won't work, and then you can try another idea instead of saying, I have 10 ideas and I want to try and juggle all of them. Pick one. Do it every single day. Get the result, get the feedback, get the data back first, and then we can pivot instead of trying to like, I'm gonna do this today and that tomorrow and this. Pick one, stick to it, stay consistent at it until you get that feedback. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's such a great question. So in all mental workings, effort defeats itself, meaning the more mental energy you put into it, actually the less results that you're going to get because you're actually burning out the system that's helping you make the decision. And decision fatigue sits in, and that's next thing you know, you don't make any decision. And so what we need to understand is we can't think the future through perfectly. It's impossible. And we try to analyze and say, oh, if I did this, if I did that, like we're trying to weigh up all our options to predict the future. We can't. And honestly, if I just took the one thing and took action on it, that would tell me more than any thought that I could ever have because you're getting real-time feedback and data, not this is what I expected and this is what came back. And honestly, some of our best ideas will either be proven right or proven wrong. And sometimes the craziest idea or the idea that I thought was never going to work was actually the thing that worked anyway. So if I knew exactly what was going to work perfectly, I wouldn't be paralyzed by analysis because I just boom, 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 and do it. But we need to just pick one, try it, give it an honest try and stick to it. And then we can add other things to it. But if I'm trying to do all of them at once or try to think through, is this going to work? Is this going to work? We have no idea what's going to work. The most successful people, most successful business in the world, most successful athletes in the world, they fail more times than the beginner has even tried. Absolutely. That's a great question. So I think I've given enough people the first step to get forward. I have what's called a procrastination planner. It's free on my website, effortlessgrowth.co. And it kind of breaks down that what's that goal that you're stuck on? What's the thing that you're procrastinating on? How can we make it easy and enjoyable to get started on in a sustainable way so we can take action every single day? That's pretty much the outline and the structure. The hardest part is when the doubt creeps in, when I've been doing this, but am I doing this correctly? And that's where just check-ins and feedback with a mentor or someone who's been through that before. I say, hey, look, success, growth isn't linear, man. Like just having that person that says, hey, keep going, stick to it. You got this. Like that's sometimes we just need to borrow the belief of someone else just to give ourselves that motivation to go forward. Because there's so many times I was stuck in business and I'm like, but my mentor had to come alongside, hey, keep at it, keep doing it. You'll strike oil. Once you do, your life will completely change. And sometimes you just need to borrow the belief from somebody else just to help your own future self, take action that you need to take instead of getting stuck. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I don't want to be the rah-rah guy. Then you get motivated and you get jazzed up and then you don't do anything with it. What I like to do is I like to build my habits. So like, just as if I didn't brush my teeth that day, I feel weird and off. I want to do that with every aspect of my life and business, where if I didn't do the thing, I feel weird and off. That's the shift that we want to get into. We don't want to be pushing and grinding like, oh, I have to do this thing. It's like, no, it's like, whoa, I didn't do the thing. I need to do it. Like it's switching the frame completely around so that if I didn't do it, I'd feel way off instead of having to force myself to do it. And the best way to do it is, like I said, make it easy. Easy, easy, easy. You'll know if it's easy enough is if you write it down on your to-do list and you laugh. Like that's been the thing. I've told people said like, hey, just do this. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, yeah, do it. That's that's part of our brain telling us like, oh, I can totally do that. That's part of what gets us over the hump and the hurdle. And so if it's like do one thing a day, it's like that seems so silly. It's like if it's easy to cross off, good. The next thing is, am I going to enjoy it? Is this going to be a grind, a push, a discipline kind of thing? Or am I going to, it's the difference between brushing your teeth with a terrible flavored toothpaste or something that you enjoy. Like there needs to be that reward aspect to it in any goal that you achieve. If I'm not getting fired up and I'm not enjoying the process, I'm not going to stick to it. And so making it a habit is a part of becoming a new person. Because when people say, oh, how long does it take for a habit to stick? It takes your whole life, man. As soon as you don't do the habit, you're not doing it anymore. So you got to say, am I willing to do this when I'm 80 years old? I got to look long, long, long term. Am I still going to enjoy this? Is this still going to be fulfilling to me? And is this still going to come natural to me if I'm doing this in the future? Now, obviously things are going to change as we get older and things like that. Life's going to throw some stuff in our way, but it has to be something that pulls me and something that I enjoy, not something I need to like, oh, I got to do that again. No, I got to be. And the way I do it is not through motivation, not through self-discipline like that, but just choosing the target that comes easy and enjoyable to me that I can do every day. Well, it's gotten over. I've completely eliminated any type of convincing of myself to do anything. I no longer have to say, what should I do? How should I do it? Can I do it? It's just like, I see the notification on my watch. I got to do the thing. I cross off the thing. If I can't do it consistently, make it easier. If I know I need to do something around the house to keep tidy or whatever, but I feel like, oh, I don't want to do it, make it easier. 1 minute, 30 seconds, set a timer, like make it so simple to make sure that I'm crossing it off every single day. I want to eliminate all the decision fatigue. I want to eliminate all of the ability, like I want to take away all the consciousness so that I'm just like an automated robot, just boom, boom, boom. I want to make this so honestly, it becomes boring. It becomes so predictable, so simple, because the best way for me to ride through the waves of what the growth process is. This is the only way to make my growth effortless, is what my company is called, is by making it so automated, so robotic, so simple that I don't even have to consciously think to get the stuff done. I got about 30 of them. Let me give you 3 high impact ones for, let's say, specifically for you. One of them is visualizing your goal, taking like a minute a day to visualize your goal as if you've already achieved it and lived in it. So that picture, that vision. For me, it's laying on the rooftop of a villa and a house on the beach in Mexico. Every single morning, one of the first things I do when I wake up in the morning is what's that? So because the brain doesn't know the difference between like a pitch, like a vision that you just put in your brain, whether that was real or whether that was fake. And if you can just visualize and enjoy yourself as if you've already achieved your goal, that gives you that hit, that dopamine, that sense of accomplishment, that this is possible. If I can't believe that it's possible, I will never achieve it. If I can't believe that I'm worthy and deserve to drive a Ferrari, Lamborghini, or whatever your goal is, you're never going to do it. You have to first, the brain has to first recognize that, yeah, this is totally possible, totally doable, to the point where it's like, yes, and I enjoy the ability to do it every single day, until one day I'm going to wake up one morning on the rooftop of my villa in Mexico being like, yeah, I've already been here, man. Like, this isn't new to me. Like, I've already been here every single day in my mind. So that's one way I leave myself. It's a huge one. Another one, this is huge. Replay a highlight reel in your brain of a recent win. So when it comes to when you're getting down and you're getting in the dumps and things suck, close your eyes and be like, when's the last time I felt that winning feeling? And it doesn't have to be related to what you're going through. It's just like, hey, I had a really good conversation with that person, or that cute girl smiled at me, or like, it doesn't have to, whatever the win is in your brain, is train your brain for what success feels like as a part of your nervous system and subconscious. Because that way it'll help you identify, what should I do? What shouldn't I do? Because you'll know, it's like, wait, does this align with my winning feeling? Or is this something completely different? So train your brain to win. And you can do it so simply, like literally like less than a minute a day. close your eyes, be like, huge win. Experience that winning feeling on a daily basis because, dude, life gets you down, man. Things aren't always perfect and great, but if you can replay that win, it keeps you motivated. So that's the second thing. The third thing I'm going to give for you, because this is a cheeky little trick. I don't know if you're single or whatever have you, but this was a game changer for my relationship with me and my wife. This is just gonna be a sneaky one. So there's like regulating the winning feeling in ourselves by ourselves is one thing, but doing it around other people, especially people that make you nervous, that's a completely different ball game. A cute girl or intimidating interview or whatever have you, being able to stay calm in the moment with talking to a person is huge. And this is going to sound really weird and funny, but I do this every freaking day. I will mirror my wife's breathing for just a few minutes every single day. I know it sounds really strange, but it actually co-regulates our nervous system, gets each other on the same wavelength, and next thing you know, we're just like more calm around each other. Really helpful, especially during stressful situations. She's pregnant with our second child. I do this every single day. Thanks, brother. Because it's the one thing that keeps us both calm together. So 1, visualize your goals as if you already achieved them. 2, replay a highlight reel in your brain of a recent win. 3, just for a few seconds or a few moments a day, mirror somebody's breathing and just watch how much more present you are, how much more calm you are, how much more focused you are, and how much more just in command of the dialogue you are.
Jesse, I love those 3 things, and it's something I've taken on board. And I just want to add with the visualization of your goals. I truly feel visualizing your goals is so important, but also live your dream. Like, for example, I'm not sure if you see, like, the 2 Aston Martins. One's a Vantage, one's a Vanquish. A car I admire and I'm going to have.
Yeah.
I don't have it yet, but I went to the dealership, sat in one, felt it, and was like, this has been a few years. So I think also, if you're listening to this and you have these dreams, these aspirations, live them. Whether that is for yourself, booking a ticket to Mexico just for a couple of days, stay in a villa, feel it. That way, when you get home, you have that drive, motivation, and discipline to work 10 times harder, which 100%. I think that's such a good point.
Everything that's ever been on my vision board, I've achieved, man. The car, the guitars, the whatever.
Love that, man.
So my current vision board is I just set my laptop background screen, and that's my vision board, is my desktop screen. And right now it's the view from my villa in Mexico. I got the real estate listing filled up. I got it all like nailed down. I've walked through everything, every room in my mind. Like, I'm already there, brother. Anyways, continue.
I love that. And yeah, also replaying the highlight reel, it's something I've done subconsciously. I haven't really been aware of it, but key moments where I've been like, damn, that's really cool. I just want to live this moment again. I think just so you get the feeling of accomplishment and excitement for the next thing, which is incredible, as well as this staying calm in the moment, whether you have a partner. I don't have a partner, so I look forward to trying this. And staying calm in the moment and trying these techniques, that's something I've never heard of before, but I feel this can impact your progress so much.
Yeah.
Jesse, what question do you want to leave for the next guest, not knowing what business they're in, their journey, or their mission?
What has been their biggest struggle with achieving their goals lately?
I love that. Jesse, one last question for you. If you could go back to your youngest self, with the knowledge and wisdom you have now, what would you tell yourself and why?
Everything that I put in my procrastination planner, man, if I could 100% have that piece of paper with me when I was 16 years old getting started, that would have completely changed my life. Obviously, I can't redo it. Everything I've learned is a part of who I've become, and the depth of what I enjoy and how I teach and how I've become the person I am is part of the ups and downs. But just being able to be like this, so when I was younger, I used to tell myself, if I only knew what to do, I would do it. For myself, this is it. If I only knew how to take that thing that I'm struggling on, whatever I'm procrastinating on, making it easy and enjoyable to do every single day, I would be miles ahead in every single one of my goals because I would just had more time. I would have started earlier. That's literally it. If I would have started what I'm doing today or what I've been doing for the last 5 years, 19 years ago, I would be massively jacked and loaded beyond my wildest dreams. So.
And you'd be in Mexico sipping margarita, taco.
I'd be right there. Yeah.
Jesse, thank you so much for this conversation and coming on the Growth Concept podcast. I'm privileged to be able to sit down with an ambitious individual yourself and to empower growth through these conversations. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate it.